Thank you so much for the rose. That's like off to a great start here. I'm just beginning the show. I'm just waiting. Broadcasting this from Substack. And I've got some TikTok listeners as well, viewers as well. Just getting ready to start the show, so stay tuned. It's getting set up, guys. All right, beginning momentarily. Yeah. All right. Welcome to The Dream is True, Season 1, Episode 25. Coming at you here. MK Schultz, horror sci-fi author. And I'm over here on TikTok as well. We've got TikTok viewers and Substack viewers going simultaneously. I'm going to be with you for the next hour and 15 minutes or so, give or take. Yeah, we got a cool show planned for today. So I'm really looking forward to getting it started. I'm just going to begin with my volume adjustment for myself here. Now, yeah, so you'll notice that the little graphic for my show has changed. That's because, so being that it's season 1, episode 25, reaching that milestone, I'm under a bit of a branding change. So what's happening is my the cover for my show, as well as my my blog, which is now being renamed to my newsletter, and also new to the list, folks, is a podcast. So this gets posted Friday, tomorrow, wherever you listen to your podcast. So all my podcast listeners that are new to The Dream is True, welcome. And for my listeners on Substack and also YouTube and TikTok, thank you. If you like this, what I'm doing here, please support me. Please like, follow, comment, and subscribe. And that is how the dream is true. So I'm making my dream come true by saying that over and over again until it happens. So I am MK Schultz, horror sci-fi author, and this show is about my journey as a writer, and I'm bringing you guys along for the ride on my journey. And so like without further ado, let's get started on today's show. So, episode 25 begins. It begins with the dream's first breath. So, I'm popping up what you'll see now popping up on the screen next to me where the Pac-Man poster is, if you're on Substack. So you're seeing the fruit pyramid. So I plan on bringing the fruit pyramid into this live in person one of these days coming up, because basically it is what began my journey. So the image of the fruit pyramid. Okay, so this is how I summoned the universe to guide me to my destiny of becoming an author. Wielding the fruit pyramid is a call for help when you are unaware of what kind of help it is that you need. For me, the call was answered by powerful realization that suddenly manifested into reality when I finally found the mysterious dream that had been hidden from my true self for my whole life. I found my purpose to be a writer. Join me for more about the fruit pyramid and other behind the scenes bits from my writing journey right here on this show every Thursday. And then, like I said, it's posted everywhere after that now on YouTube, podcasts, everywhere, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts, really. Looking for comments and feedback always, so let me know what you think. If you are on Substack, please say hi in the comments just so that I know you are there, because it's a super rush for me to see everyone drop by. So that is the fruit pyramid. Next up, this current show. This current show is called The Dream is True. And this is season 1, episode 25. I am MK Schultz, horror sci-fi author, coming at you. So like I said, I'm excited to announce that this is now being posted as a podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, YouTube Podcasts, and Pocket Podcasts. Pocket Casts, it's just called. So this is episode 25, and so here's the details. So last week we did a live reading of Cassius Canick's, and it was chapter 24, Training. And I'm going to do a little recap because later on in the show here, I'm going to be doing a live reading of chapter 25 which is called On the Home Front later on for you, closer to the end of the program, closer to the 8 o'clock hour Eastern time, coming at you. So here's what happened last week on chapter 24, Training in Cassius Canick's. And I'll pop up. So chapter 24, the image in the manuscript looks like that. It's basically breaking free to find your destiny. This is the symbol used. I love this graphic. I made it into a grayscale pencil-like drawing, and it was in my manuscript. These images did not make it to the final published novel, Cassius Canick's, and that is why I'm showing you them here to have a little bit of a behind-the-scenes experience with me. So I hope you like that. So that's chapter 24 image. And then, so basically there you'll see Cassius Canick's pop up on the poster. That is the cover of the novel Cassius Canick's. So here it is, a recap of last week's chapter 24, Training. After a restful sleep, Cass is informed by Charlie that he will not have to wait 2 days for the training to begin. Instead, he learns that the training will begin immediately. Now that's a little bit of that is a behind the scenes thing that only the author would know. So that is what the inside information on that is. Something's going on with Cassius in the organization. And I mean, they actually know him very well. And they even know that, yeah, you know what? Cass isn't going to want to wait that 2 days. Let's start the training right away. And it's exactly how he feels. The mystery is, how do they know that? So Orion has a debriefing meeting with Cass to commence the training. In the debriefing, the 3 mysterious doors are described. Door 1 is called the Wolf. The image on the door is a die rolled at 3. It represents early life experiences. Door 2 is called the Shooting Range. And by the way, the doors that I'm referring to are actually on the cover. Like you can see these are representative of the doors. There's 1, there's 2, and when you flip around on the back, the 3rd door is there on the book. So that's something I want to point out. Not all my readers have picked up on that little detail. Door number 2 is called the Shooting Range. The image on the door is a gun. It represents struggle of life. Door number 3 is called the Vault. The image on the door is a treasure chest. It represents the valuable things in life. Cass is required to spend 3 days inside each of the doors to complete his training. Upon completion, he is told that his destiny will be realized. He enters door 1 to begin, and that is where the chapter 24 ends. On to, so yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm excited to read this this new chapter for you guys today. I hope you'll like it. On to my books now. I'm going to do a brief. I am MK Schultz, horror sci-fi author, and I'm going to talk a little bit about my books now. So back to, I will show you again book 1, which we are doing a live reading of from later on in the program. Cassius Canix. It is a sci-fi novel, a slow burn that turns into a raging fire and then teases for more. Buckle up. Yeah, this book really picks up speed. Probably I would say in the last third of the book is when it really catches on fire, and that is what I purposely did. I wanted to really draw out the mystery and the question of why and what is the organization, why is it becoming part of Cassius Canix's life, and all that kind of good stuff. So Cassius Canix, an ordinary man's life, collapses after he is pursued by a powerful secret organization. The big question is, why him? He gradually comes to understand that he holds the mysterious dormant power within. When an unimaginable tragedy strikes his family, he defies the fundamental laws of the universe and travels through time to restore things back to normal. With cutting-edge technology, supernatural animals, and even time travel, experience a seemingly simple man's journey to destiny and greatness. All right. You'll notice, my setup is all changed because I'm preparing for a book event this weekend. More on that coming up in the show, but I have to reach a bit for my books here because my normal setup is all kind of disturbed. Next up, we have part 2 of, so Cassius Canix is a trilogy. So part 2 is The Fishing Trip. So The Fishing Trip is a horror and sci-fi novel, kind of combining the two genres. This book is a prequel to the first, and it ends where book 1 starts. Super cool character backstories will have you longing for more. Buckle up extra tight for this one. Basically, so a routine fishing getaway for 5 close friends turns into a nightmare when an apocalyptic bulk drags them into unspeakable evil and despair. Their only hope? Powerful time traveler racing against fate to pull them back from the brink. And that is The Fishing Trip. Next up, we have part 3, the grand finale of the Cassius Canics trilogy. We have Equilibrium. This book is a horror and sci-fi novel as well. Basically, this book is a continuation of book 1, and it ties in book 2's revelations for the grand finale. Will there be more to the story? Nothing can prepare you for Equilibrium. Brace yourself. This is my biggest book that I've made. I mean, as far as word count, this one sits in at about 104,000 words. That's probably my meatiest novel, and that is Equilibrium. Cassius Canics and the organization face their greatest threat yet, evil incarnate. An alien being named Jade is determined to rob Cassius of everything he's become. In a race against the destruction of the planet, he strives to restore balance. The fate of the world hangs on Cassius Canics finding his true power, a mysterious power called Equilibrium. Next up, folks, we have my horror novel, my standalone horror novel, The Muse. This book gets a lot of attention. Rightly so. It's got a very vibrant color cover. This was designed by Michelle Young, a local author who is also in my kind of area. And yeah, this is a standalone horror. It's actually more specifically, I would say, occult horror. This book is inspired by 80s slasher movies, Stephen King horror, and American Psycho too, a little bit. Depressed writer turns to a life of solitude as a trucker. He calls out for help on a Ouija board in a bid for inspiration. His call for help is answered by an ancient evil that promises genius but demands murder in return. As the body count climbs, only his twin sister can stop him before the muse claims them both. But is it all ready? All right. Next up. So that is my standalone horror novel, The Muse. Next up is my standalone sci-fi novel, Hard Copy. Now, Hard Copy, yeah, I had a super fun time writing this book. This is a sci-fi alien invasion suspense thriller. This book is inspired by Gen X TV, 80s sci-fi, conspiracy theories, and modern AI. At a wild bush party in his teens, Ray Higgins was taken by aliens. Now in his 50s, separated and disappointed, he's assigned to mentor Terra, an AI robot. When the aliens return, Ray and Terra expose conspiracies, hidden horrors, and a lizard cult of deception in a gripping story of rediscovery and rebellion. Are you ready? Question reality. And that's as far as I've gotten so far. Now, I got a nice review just last week on the 3rd of June by Kelly Miller, I believe from the US. Yeah, so check that review out on it's on Goodreads and Amazon in US as well. She gave me a 4-star review, and so thank you, Kelly Miller. That's awesome. I was very happy to see that review come in. And if you're just joining me, I am MK Schultz, horror sci-fi author, and this is my show, The Dream is True, where I talk about my writing journey, and I bring you along with me for the ride. Lots of behind-the-scenes cool stuff, about my life and my writing journey. So yeah, my books in progress is the next topic to cover. So still no news other than what I've shared with you in the past few weeks. So for those of you who are not aware, I have submitted the manuscript for my coming vampire novel to ECW Press. I am happy to report that ECW Press has contacted me last week to let me know that their review of my manuscript is up next, and I will be hearing back from them very soon. Fingers crossed. So yeah, I'm really anxious for that one. That's going to be super cool part of my journey. I am an indie author, but this would be my first shot at traditional publication. So I'm kind of excited about that, and adding that to my journey. Other than that, I have another book that is in the works. My upcoming short story collection. So far, I have written about just over 47,000 words on that. So it's coming along really well. I finished writing The Devil Comes to Town. It's 3,986 words, and I have started on story number 13 of the collection. It is called Alien Interview. And so this is a wild short story collection that will include horror and sci-fi stories. My current plan is to initially release this short story collection on my weekly newsletter for subscribers only, as a way to kind of begin the slow rollout of this before I publish it as a collection. All right, guys, next up, we have my next book event, which is coming up like literally in 2 days. So yeah, it is this. It is a horror. It's called Horror Fi. One event, two worlds, infinite year. It is at 1701 Woodruff Avenue, entrance 4, June 13th and 14th. So that's this Saturday and Sunday, both from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. $5 admission at the door. This is proudly presented by geekedOutEvents.ca. So yeah, this is going to include vendors, entertainment, cosplay, and more. And when I say more, first of all, have a look at what they did for my, where is it now? Horrify. Yeah, have a look at what they did for my graphic. I gotta go this way. Yeah, I really liked what they've done here. That's super cool. So yeah, those are my books that I just went over with you. So that's awesome. Where am I going to be? Here, I'm going to show you this is on Substack. So my viewers on TikTok aren't going to get all these graphics. So you can either head on over to Substack if you want to see some of these graphics, or you can catch this post tomorrow when it gets uploaded to Substack and YouTube. And you can go from there. But here's where I'm going to be. So this is the layout of the floor. And as you can see in booth number 56, that is where I will be, right across from the supernatural Impala, which is the cool car that they're going to have from that from the TV show. So yeah, please, if you're coming, stop by, say hi, pick up one of my books, one of my signed books. Come see me at booth number 56 for this cool horror sci-fi event. I am very excited for this, and I'm so thrilled to be doing this event, especially alongside so many awesome celebrities. So check out the cool lineup. I've got an image of the celebrities. So check this out. We've got Lisa Wilcox, who literally was in Nightmare on Elm Street Part I'm going to say part 4 and 5 of Nightmare on Elm Street with Robert Englund, and like the actual real legit old school OG Freddy, let's put it that way. Then we've got Ty Olsson. I've seen one of his movies actually called Thanksgiving. That was an awesome movie, by the way. Love that. Julian Richings is also an actor. He is going to be there. Check out his work on his website. His movies that he's been in and whatnot, movies and TV shows. Michael Chan is going to be there. Star Wars and Law and Order Toronto are a couple of things he's been in. Actually, he reached out to me on Instagram and actually said he's going to come by my booth and pick up a copy of The Muse. So, like, I mean, how do you think I felt about that? Yeah, pretty thrilled. So I look forward to that. I look forward to meeting Michael Chan and hopefully maybe some of the others as well. Osric Chow is going to be there. Major, huge following he has. Check out his work. Brett Kelly is going to be there. Local writer-director, I believe. Ron Sutton is an artist. He'll be there, as well as Janet Hetherington, who's also a writer. So yeah, these are like cool celebrities that are going to be there that I'm looking forward to, and I'm honored to be participating in my first 2-day event, and also just to be alongside, to be doing it and to be part of it with these outstanding celebrities. It feels like a win for me as an indie author, and I'm just super excited to be a part of this. Next up, guys. We're moving pretty quick here. If there's any comments or questions, let me know. But I'm hopefully waiting to see some comments in the Substack live chat, just to let me know that you're there. Please let me know that you're there. I would love to. I'd love to see who's joining me on my journey. So for today's bookish spotlight, for those of you who do not know, each week I do a bookish spotlight, and it's basically most often local authors. I'm starting out with authors that I actually have met and have done book events with, who are of similar or relatable genres to my own. And that's how I'm starting out, and I got a huge list of authors to go through for this. This is number 11 on my list so far. So this is James K. Moran. James K. Moran's fiction collection Fear Itself and horror novel Town and Train were published by Left Press. Moran's poetry and speculative fiction have appeared in Another Dysfunctional Cancer Poem anthology, Early Tales, Fairy Tales of the Hirsute and Hefty Gay Man, Bywords, Glitter Wolf, On Spec, and elsewhere. He writes across genres about grief, love, nomadic superheroes, and drag queen warlocks. Moran's reviews appear in Arc Poetry Magazine, Plentitude, and Strange Horizons. Findable at jamesmoran.blogspot.ca, jamestheballadier.bsky.social, on Blue Sky, and on James the Balladier on Instagram as well. Moran lives in Ottawa on the unceded territory of the Anishinaabe Algonquin Nation. I'm very sorry for my mispronunciation of that. A word derived from the Algonquin Ada, meaning to trade. So yes, thank you to James for being my bookish spotlight. I met James at I've seen James at a few events, mostly at the Reread Books events, actually, I think. Maybe a couple of other ones as well. So let's get into James's book. So we have his book. This is a collection of stories. I'll read his write-up that he provided to me for this, because this book has a lot. This book has a lot of stuff in it. Canadian author James K. Moran's debut collection of dark fiction offers fantasy, sci-fi, and horror shot through with hope and friendship. Inside, readers will discover sea serpents among the roiling waters of the St. Lawrence River, under a dilapidated international bridge, a misguided bi-mage in negotiating with a demon he accidentally summoned into his dorm, baby monitor issuing the voice of an interdimensional dark god, couple in Picton County fleeing an ancient entity they cannot see directly that demands a blood sacrifice, queer ghosts haunting a British nightclub, two salty old ranch hands outside Lethbridge, Alberta, betting on who is better shot in what may be the apocalypse. A shape-changing huckster seducing apathetic supernities. A gay rare collectibles hunter hunted by a being moving between the internet, film, and fact. Catfished giant marauding with back roads of Stormont, Dundas, Glengarry counties. A gay wine shop manager discovering more than a dusty Moscato lurking in the musty basement, and a pterodactyl loose. So yeah, check out. There's lots of good stuff from James that he provided to me on my newsletter. So yeah, check out my newsletter issue number 11 for more on James and his book. And yeah, so once again, thank you, James, for being my bookish spotlight this week. My next two bookish spotlights are already booked, so I'm excited about that. So I'm ahead of schedule on my bookings, which is cool. Next up, what else do we got? Let's see. Okay, so movies, TV, music, and books. We're on to that section now of my live. So movies, TV, music, and books are a massive influence on my writing. Each week, I share with you what I watched, listened to, or read. Here's last week's consumption. So I watched this movie called Shelter. I believe it was on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. Starring Jason Statham, Bodhi Ray Brednak, Michael Schaefer, and Bill Nye. Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of Bill Nye. So it gets a 6.1 out of 10 on IMDb. A reclusive former government assassin finds his forced isolation shattered when a stranded supply girl triggers a lethal tracking system, forcing him to defend her against his old handler's relentless execution squads. So my take, this was a typical Jason Statham movie. If you like his movies, you will like this one. They are what they are. The action and fight scenes are really well choreographed, I find. I really like his movies for the fight scenes. If you're up for a predictable action movie with an 80s-like feel, you will get what you are expecting with this. Next up is a TV series, limited series that I started watching called The Brewers. So for this one, it stars Alfred Molina, Alfred Woodward, Dennis O'Hara, and Gina Davis. It gets 7.4 out of 10 on IMDb. Thank you to everyone who is dropping in. If anyone, please comment to let me know if you're there on my Substack, because I can't seem to see a number, so I'm not sure. In a seemingly picturesque retirement community, a group of unlikely heroes must band together to stop an otherworldly threat from stealing the one thing they don't have, time. So my take, okay, here's my take on the Burrows. I'm about 5 episodes in on this 8 episode limited series. The first episode was the strongest one so far of the 5. I started to lose a bit of interest around episode 3, but now it is getting a bit better again. So I'm excited about that. It's good, not great, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. It's still entertainment that I'm enjoying. Best part about it is definitely Alfred Molina's acting. Without him, I don't think this would be nearly as good. I am going to stick with it for sure because it's not bad. I hope it'll gain a bit more momentum to achieve a strong finish. And I think usually these shows, they usually deliver. So I think I have some high hopes for that. That's all for my TV section. On to music now. Okay, yeah. So for music, I've kind of just been following my favorite band's tour. The Run for Your Lives tour of Iron Maiden. So I have always been inspired and motivated by heavy metal and rock music. My favorite band is Iron Maiden. When I first started my writing journey, Iron Maiden was always playing in the background. I have always found the lyrics and sounds of Maiden to be thought provoking and inspirational. I'm probably going to share with you some quotes. I've been actually in a notebook. I've been writing down all. I'm actually documenting all of my favorite lyrics from Iron Maiden, like one sentence, usually one sentence or and that's about it. But I'm writing them all down. I think I've got about 17 of them written down so far. And I'm probably going to share that with you on an upcoming show just because they're so cool. Like they really are. So okay, so this just an update on the tour where they're at now. So Iron Maiden is okay. On June 2nd, they did a concert at Hanover, Germany. June 4th, they did a concert at Solvesborg, Sweden. June 6th, they were back in Germany again at Nuremberg Zeppelin Field, and on June 7th again at Newburgring, Germany. And then on June 10th, actually, yesterday, they were in Amsterdam, Netherlands. So the concerts are amazing, and I'm going to show you an image from one of their concerts recently that I found. Like, check that out. Like, look at the little guys. They're standing there, and look at the giant. These are fully animated. Like this is an Eddie, obviously. It's Eddie, which is the mascot of Iron Maiden. And it's such a spectacle to see one of these concerts because it's such a phenomenal show. So I wanted to share that with you. And I see, oh, hi, Nadine is here on TikTok. Thanks for joining, Nadine. I missed your comment last week. I saw it after we got off the live that when I think I was talking about writing or something, you said that you started writing. You commented something like you started writing for the first time in forever, and so that's cool. Way to go! Yeah, let me know what you're writing about. I'd love to hear that, just in the comments or whatever. And yeah, I'm like, super excited for you. I know it's just so fun. Like once you get back into it, eh? Especially if you've been away from it for a while. Um, okay, we're on to books now. Oh, what's this? And Substack. Oh, and Substack, but this is new for me. I started. Oh, okay. So you're on Substack. That's awesome. Oh, thanks for joining me. Yeah, Substack. I don't know how it is on your end. On my end, it's super cool because I'll tell you why. Um, Substack just opens up so many possibilities as far as tapping into streaming of, podcasts and posting the videos automatically on YouTube, and it's just so cool. Like, I'm really enjoying it. And then the professional, basically it has a more professional kind of setup. Well, I'm using this OBS Studio, which basically gets the sound right and stuff like that. But speaking of sound, there we go. But that's cool. Starting a D&D prompt. Oh, okay. Cool. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So yeah, let me know on Substack there. Let me know if there's any problem that you're seeing, that the sound is terrible, or something's too loud or not loud enough. Just please let me know, because that would be cool. I do kind of figure that out though, because when I post the video, I'm able to see it, and I think the quality seems to be okay for me. But oh yeah, Dungeons. Okay, no, I knew. I mean, my God, I'm from the '80s. I know D&D, and I didn't want to assume that it was maybe something different from what I actually thought it was. So that's why I didn't say anything. It was D&D, yeah, Dungeons and Dragons. I definitely know that. The volume is definitely lower on Substack compared to TikTok. Okay, it is, right? So maybe, but your volume hopefully your volume's able to, it depends what you're listening to it on. I don't know. Maybe the volume on your phone is down. Maybe it's not. Yeah, maybe it's just a different experience. I'm not sure. If you listen to it on a PC, like on a personal computer on Substack, I don't know. Not everybody's going to be doing that, but I think maybe it'll be better then if you're going through like computer speakers, maybe. Okay, so I'm on to books. And so what is my current read? Okay, I just picked up a book yesterday. It's like a short story, I'd say. Here it is. It's called County Road 2400, a Midwest noir. This author, this is Sal Nudo. He is an American journalist who I have, he actually he did a quote for my novel hard copy, for me, which was like super, super cool. I really like Sal Nudo's writing. Saul is actually on Substack on this platform. You can definitely follow him. And so book one summary from Goodreads. Okay, so the book summary from Goodreads. Sorry. One night of mailbox metal was supposed to be a reset. Instead, it became a life sentence. Illinois, 1998. Tommy Pancio and Todd Wells were fueled by cheap beer, jagged lines of cocaine, and the midnight fog of Champaign County. The mission is a high-speed pass and the satisfying ping of the baseball bat against a rural mailbox. But when the bat hits something wet and heavy on County Road 2400, the music stops. What follows is a desperate mud-caked crawl into a different kind of darkness. From the suffocating rows of unharvested corn to a concrete hole beneath an abandoned Indiana burger stand, Tommy discovers that the Midwest doesn't just grow crops, it buries secrets. Trapped with $500,000 in drug money and a silent, gentle giant for a jailer, Tommy must confront the ghosts of his past and the very real predator coming to collect. In the heart of the heartland, the distance between a good time and a shallow grave is shorter. So that's it's a short book. I'm probably going to have that one read next week, I would say. So I'll have a review for you guys to see for that one. Thank you, Saul Nudo. I know you're on this platform, so if you stop by or listen to this video, I hope you see the shout out I gave you. Love to do it. It's awesome. Any indie author who wants to drop by or reach out to me, that would be great. So MK Schultz's book sales. Okay, so we're into my book sales section. So far I have sold 81 books in 2026. So thank you very much to everyone who's supporting me in my writing journey. I am MK Schultz, horror sci-fi author. And I got my 101st review on Goodreads. So I was pretty happy about that. I got my first paid subscriber on Substack. Thank you to the wonderful A.L. McDonald. I got my 57th subscriber on Substack now, so that's cool. I'm trying to build my Substack base. My novel hard copy is now available at the Ottawa Public Library, and I have now sold 8 books in 8. I have sold books in 8 different countries, so I'm pretty pumped about that. All told, I have now sold 836 books since I started my journey and published my first book back in 2019. The dream is true. So thank you so much for following me and supporting me on my journey as it is my dream. So we're into writer's tip. No, I don't see A.L. McDonald. I did not see A.L. McDonald at all. He is out of commission. Yeah, I didn't see. All I see is your comments. I'm not sure if anybody else. I'm going to keep going because I got to get some people tuning into the live on Substack. But so far, that's why I have to keep this TikTok one going for the lives. It's pretty, it has a good reach. I think the posting of the videos, though, still makes the Substack experience very worthwhile for the flexibility that it offers me to get my content out there after the live is over. That's when the real fun begins for me with Substack. After the live is done, it is so cool putting together the videos and firing them off to YouTube, and then podcast world now has opened up to me because of Substack. I'm on Spotify. The Dream is True is on Spotify. It's on Apple Podcasts. It's on YouTube Podcasts, and it's on another one called Past Pods, I think it's called. And yeah, like, oh my goodness, yeah, it's so cool. Like the just the reach and the potential as I reach out with the fruit pyramid to try to summon my destiny. So writer's tip. As far as writer's tip goes, oh, thank you, Nadine. There's a 7-second delay in Substack as well that people should be aware of. If you'll see that if you go back and forth between TikTok and Substack. So writer's tip. Hey, I got a fun writer's tip for you that it was something I learned on my writing journey, and I want to share it with you now. And maybe it's something everyone already knows, but if not, hey, I hope you get something out of this. So for my writer's tip of the week, I would like to clarify my stance on using an apostrophe plus S to form the possessive of singular nouns and proper names, even those ending in S. So if that doesn't make sense to you, it soon will. So I struggled with this rule of grammar during the writing of my first novel, Cassius Cannix. When I was writing a sentence like Cass Powers, like Cass as in K-A-S-S apostrophe Powers, like so his powers, right? Cass Powers, or Cass apostrophe Destiny. Like, I hated how it looked and read, because when I read it Cass's power and Cass's destiny. So I was wondering, well, why can't I put a S after the apostrophe even though the word ends in an S? I hated how it looked and it read, even though this is what I was taught to be grammatically correct all throughout my grade school. But then, when I read Stephen King's On Writing, a memoir of the craft, In the section on grammar and style tips, King advises treating possessives consistently by adding apostrophe S regardless of the ending letter. For example, he favors forms like passes, not pass, apostrophe. This straightforward writing rule prioritizes readability and pronunciation, saying the extra S sound. This practical rule for writers really spoke to me in contrast to what seemed like rigid dogma. In other words, write how you would say it. That makes more sense to me, and I was glad to learn that I was in good company in the adoption of this rule. The great Stephen King is not the lone supporter of this rule. The Chicago Manual of Style also aligns with King on this, and me. I'm glad that Cass's destiny turned out to be the way it did. It sounds so much better that way to me. So it's just the apostrophe S. That's all it is. So yeah, you will see. I have been told that I have an error in my book because it's spelled Kass apostrophe S, and I just want to let people know it is purposefully done because of reasons I just went through with you. Yes. So both Stephen King and the Chicago Manual of Style are basically in favor of the Kass apostrophe S. Yeah, that is, and that's why I did that in my first book. This makes so much more sense because you would never say Cass destiny. You would say Cass's destiny. So that's, yeah. In writing a novel, this is the stance of Stephen King and the Chicago Manual of Style, and just to stay consistent with it. And so yeah, that's how I do it now, and I'm happy to do it. I don't know how many other writers are not doing it, but I know some writers are doing it, because if Stephen King's doing it, I'm sure there's got to be others doing it. Okay, so on to my writer's quirk. This is a fun one for this week, guys. I had a lot of fun putting this one together. I'm going to show you something. I have an image. Yeah, it's English is a glorious mishmash of rules. I've read before or heard before that it is one of the most difficult languages to learn because it has the most exceptions to the rule of any other language out there. And I believe it. Yeah, there are. Now this rule, I mean, I was taught to do just apostrophe, no extra S, all throughout my school. So that's why I was like really struggling with it when it came time for me to publish a book. I didn't want people to think, "Ooh, you're making a mistake." But I took this stance and I went for it because of the research that I came across from Stephen King and the Chicago Manual of Style. Because the Chicago Manual of Style has a lot of clout when it comes to the proper use of grammar. It's, even though it's American, yeah, it's got a lot of clout in obviously America, but also in other countries. So check this out. We're into my writer's quirk. So this is a picture of my two dogs who are chilling with me on like a Friday night or something as I watch TV. So today's quirk is about my dog, Chaga. So Chaga is the one, there's a dog near the TV that's laying down, totally zonked out. That's Rune. That's my dog, Rune. So Chaga's the other guy who's upright on the blanket. So today, I'm having trouble getting through this without cracking up laughing. So check this out. So yeah, Chaga is a sweetheart. Today's quirk is about my dog, Chaga. When I hang out with Chaga, I have noticed something unique about him. Unlike my other dog, Rune, who can be seen crashed out on the floor near the TV, Chaga actually watches TV. I'm not kidding. Rune and Chaga, yeah. Yeah, you got the spelling and everything. That's awesome. So he literally takes in the TV. And as I watched him observing the sounds and pictures, it got me thinking about a story idea for one of my short stories in my short story collection that I'm working on. So yeah, literally my wife is watching TV with me, and she'll silently get my attention and say, like, look at Chaiga, like, and I look at him and we just die laughing. He's completely focused on the TV screen, and the dude is watching it. He's literally watching the show with us. It's unbelievable. So thanks to Chaiga, I wrote a story called The Dog, a short story. It's part of my collection that will be released hopefully this year. It is about a stray dog that is taken into an apartment by two roommates. One of the roommates is deaf and mute. The other roommate is blind. The dog in the story is named Chaiga. Chaiga infiltrates the life of the deaf man by replacing him as the roommate of the blind man. To find out how he does this, you'll have to read the story when it's released. I can't wait to share this story and all the other stories that I have been working on since October of 2025. So yes, I've got 13 stories now, and this is one of them. So that is my writer's quirk. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to try to come up with something each week because I really enjoy my writer's quirk section and my writer's tip section, and I hope you do too. So yes, for anyone who's just joining, yes, I am MK Schultz, horror sci-fi author, coming at you on, this is episode 25 of my show. I've been doing this 25 weeks consistently every single Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Each week I do a live reading from my first novel, Cassius Canix. And we're coming up to that very shortly. The show usually goes on till approximately 8:15, so we're right on time there now. We could go a little over. I have a couple of other things coming up. So we're into the food and health section of my newsletter. I'm calling it a newsletter now instead of my blog. So yeah, I'm going through a bunch of terminology changes here to try to make improvements. So as an author, it is important to keep my brain and body healthy so that I can continue to churn out horrific scenes of violence and thought-provoking and chilling sci-fi. My goal in 2026 is to care for my mental and physical health. Side projects around the house provide good mental health outlets for meditating, brainstorming, and thinking about stories. Last week, I started removing the tree that fell on the groovy gazebo. Unfortunately, the groovy gazebo may not be salvageable. For more on the groovy gazebo, you have to look at last week's newsletter, issue number 11 of my blog from last week. So I have a couple of images. Yeah, unfortunately, it's a hard image to see, but that's this one corner of my gazebo. The metal frame structure is completely obliterated. I told my daughter it looks like the Iron Giant was in our backyard and had a feast on the metal of my gazebo. It's unbelievable when you see this image, and this image is hard to see on the screen here, but yeah, so Groovy Gazebo may not make it, but hey, there'll be one in the future. I have to reincarnate the Groovy Gazebo for sure. So my meals for last week. So my basically 5 days of the week I'm eating super clean and low calorie. I'm on a weight loss kick. So far I've lost 34 pounds this year, thanks to calorie counting with my Fitbit and cardio and strength and flexibility training. So my calorie-friendly meals for last week, I had a bunch of cauliflower rice, vegetables, lean ground turkey, and a little bit of lean ground beef, and also some homemade soup. And instead of showing you pictures of those, I thought it would be more fun to show you pictures of my cheat meals, which are on Friday and Saturday. So here, feast your eyes on this. These are my cheat meals from last week. Yeah, we have spicy quesadillas. I had a nice breakfast omelet. That's actually not too much of a cheat meal. And then you know what? The burgers actually aren't too bad either because they were lean ground turkey burgers. And I don't know if you've ever tried to barbecue a lean ground turkey burger, but you can't. You have to first freeze them because they are literally like it would be like trying to barbecue pancakes. They would just fall right through the grill. So in order to beat that, you have to first freeze a lean ground turkey burger. Otherwise, you would lose it through the grill. So as it's frozen, it's solid, and then when it cooks, it hardens, and you're good to go. And you got to put a bit of olive oil on the grill first too before you do that. So yeah, those are my meals. Oh, shrimp, yes. Shrimp is one of my. It's not even. Oh, it's a cheat. It's not even a cheat meal. You can have like you can have it as your healthy meals, and it's like it's just amazing. Like I love shrimp. Yeah. So those are my cheat meals. So what are we on to now? We're done. We're into. So now what I do now, guys, as in this part of the live, I stop the music because we're getting on to the live reading. Oh yes, lemon orzo shrimp. The heavy cream makes it more. Yes, the heavy cream would add it. That would be a cheat meal then, just because of the cream. But you know what? The lemon with I love the lemon shrimp combination. I have a recipe that I do like that too. It's awesome. All right, guys, we are getting into it. The music has stopped. Everything is now very serious because guess what? We are reading on episode 25 of The Dream is True. You guessed it. We're reading chapter 25 of Cassius Canics. On the home front. How was school, hon? Good, Mom. I can't. I just can't stop thinking about Daddy. I worry about him all alone, so far away. What is he doing? What has he gotten himself into? Was it the right move for him? I know how you feel, Lyd, but try not to worry. You have enough on your own plate. Daddy will be fine. He always is. Yeah, I guess you're right. 1 second. There we go. Where's Lance? He's coming down the driveway now, Mom. Oh, good. I am making a nice supper and it's almost ready. Hi, Lance. Settle down, tripod. Settle down, Minotaur. Holy crap, it's like I've never come home before. Excited enough, are they? What's for supper, Mom? I'm starving. Fajitas, Lance boy, and they're almost ready. You want to set the table? Sure. Yes, please send any recipes you got. That'd be awesome. Regular routine and regular daily occurrences with a family can sometimes be boring, but Melina never complained. She was grateful for the life that she had with Cass and the kids. Did she worry about Cass? Yes, of course she did. It wouldn't be normal if she didn't. But she also had an immense amount of confidence in him. Being his wife, she saw qualities in Cass that many people he interacted with never did. Seemingly a simple man, Cass possessed an extremely complex side. Melina was aware of this, and because of it, all that was happening didn't really surprise her. Well, not completely. The supper was great. The family was great. And after a cleanup and a bit of TV, the Canexes minus Cass all turned in for the night. The night was off to a restful start when suddenly Melina was awakened by the loud bark of Minotaur. Making her way downstairs, Melina began to scold him. Minotaur, be quiet. What is it, a skunk, a June bug, or a raccoon? Minotaur had been known to do this from time to time, and although annoying, Cass used to say that he was serving as a good guard dog. Melina agreed and supposed it was worth the minor interruption of sleep in the night. Then she snickered as she thought about something Cass would say if he were there. Something like, "Well, good to know that the security alarm batteries are still working." Melina continued snickering to herself, but then the snickering was halted by a loud pounding knock at the front door. Riddled with fear and a horrible sense of helplessness, peeked out a window to see who was there. Shocked and even more scared now, she peered at the large silhouettes of two men. What could they possibly want at 2 in the morning? She wondered. Then the knocking got even louder, and Melina became terrified. Minotaur's barking was loud and continuous, and was now joined by Tripod. Lance was still fast asleep, but Lydia was now at Melina's side. "We have to call 911, Mum." "Yes, hun. Can you go to the closet and call and stay on the phone with them?" "Okay, I'm scared." "Be brave, hun. This will be all over soon. Hopefully not for the worst," she thought. Lydia became even more afraid when she realized that her phone, for some reason, had no signal. Then a sudden loud sound of crashing at the door brought Melina to the realization of her worst fear. They broke down the door. Immediately upon entering, the men subdued the dogs with some sort of tranquilizer. With the dogs silent, Melina and the kids were all hiding in Lance's bedroom closet now. The sound of the men's footsteps from the main living area brought an increasing amount of fear to them as each second passed by at an incredibly slow pace. There was the sound of deep voices, and although low in volume, Melina could make out some of what they were saying. "Modes wants this to be clean and quick. We need to hurry and get the fuck out fast." Terror ripped through Melina and the kids as they heard this. What could they do to get out of this? Waiting in terror for what started to seem inevitable, the Canaxes huddled and tried to keep together. Noises could be heard plainly and more close by the minute now as the intruders continued their search through the house. Melina then decided that they should try to escape through the window before the men got any closer. Whispering super quiet to Lance and Lydia, Melina shared her plan with them and quickly but silently made her way out of the closet and across the room to the window. Quietly struggling to open the window, she saw a set of headlights erratically ascend and bounce up and down into the driveway with a sense of urgency. Then the lights shut off, and Melina could see from the natural light of the moon that it was a truck like Rock's. It was Rock, thank God. And now Melina could see him running to the door with great urgency. In a panic, her fear for Rock's life caused her selflessly to cry out to him to warn him of the two men that were already in the house. Rock made quick work in locating and making his way directly to the men. When he reached them, he was relieved that he did not arrive too late. "Hey, fuckers, tell your boss to think twice before he tries this again," Rock said. "Hey, asshole, you got a lot of nerve coming here. And with two of us and just one of you, you won't be leaving here in one piece," one of the two said in response. "Don't be so sure. I destroyed fucking snots like you since I was a kid picking them out of my nose. And with that, a fight ensued. Rock began to school them with what appeared to be special combat like moves. It soon became very evident to Molina that he was not at risk of losing this fight. She was right. After a very short and one sided exchange of punches and kicks, Rock was completely covered with blood on his fists, and the two men's faces looked like something one would begin making burger patties with for the barbecue. Dragging the men out, both at the same time, Molina heard Rock say, "Tell your boss that if he ever tries this again, much worse and much more severe consequences will ensue. My boss's family is not to be fucked with. If I find out about anyone even remotely connected to you or modes, even driving by here or coming within 10 kilometers of anyone here, well, then just know that you have been duly warned." Rock restrained and then tossed the men one by one into the back of his truck like they were kids. Then he proceeded back into the house to check on the Cannixes. "Rock, are you okay?" Molina cried. "Thank you so much for being here. What would we have what would we ever have done? Oh, Rock, I am so scared." "What was all that? And how did you know?" Rock slowly and calmly began. "Melina, this has been a traumatic experience for you. The engineers are coming over to stay with you for the night so you can sleep in peace." "Oh yeah, the engineers are coming." "Know that this will not happen again. The security level is being increased as we speak to prevent future occurrences." "Rock, what is going on? What did those men want? And why couldn't we call 911? How did you know come? And what are you going to do with them now?" "Melina, calm down. Take some deep breaths, sweetheart. Those men are just a couple of random thugs. They had a cell phone blocker on them, which cut your signal. I knew to come because the signal for your security system comes to me. That was how Cass and I wanted to set it up as part of our business together. I will take the scum in my truck directly to the police after this and we'll look after it all for you. Don't worry, Melina. We are family now. Cass is looked after, and so are you and the kids." Rock left shortly after the engineers arrived. They settled in for the night, and Mel and the kids felt safe now. It was over, Mel thought. But Melina couldn't stop thinking about it, so she put on some tea to try to relax. "Hey, Mrs. Cannix, nice to see you again," said Drew. Yeah, so if you are unaware, the character of Drew is the head engineer, and he was inspired by my best friend, A.L. McDonald. "Oh, hi, hun. I can't sleep. I am having some tea. Would you like some?" "Sure thing. Sounds good." "What happened tonight, Drew?" "Just a random occurrence, ma'am. Just glad Mr. Cannix had us tie in the alarms monitoring to Rock, that's all. And also glad that Rock happened to be nearby. He would have got he would have got the signal remotely through his phone. What is Rock like as a boss, Drew?" "Mrs. Cannix, are you trying to get me in trouble?" "No, Drew, I'm just curious how Rock has this little empire running so as to employ you four guys, Cass, and not to mention other bar staff, etc. Rock is an awesome businessman, ma'am. And now that Mr. Cannix is on board, it has only gotten better. Business is improving. The numbers are up. The future looks very promising." That's great, Drew. Great for you and the others, and for Rock, and for us too. I am happy and glad for Cass. He really has found something great with Rock. He is on training abroad now, something Rock sent him to. It is really intense too. He can't even be contacted, and he is gone for weeks. Nice to have you and the others there for us. Thank you for being here, Drew. No worries, Mrs. Cannix. It is what we are here for, and we wouldn't have it any other way. You and your family are good people. And Mr. Cannix? Well, he is just something else. You have a good night, Drew, and thanks for coming. Sleep well. Will do, Mrs. Cannix. You too, okay? Okay. Melina made her way to bed after checking on the kids. They were both fast asleep, exhausted from the traumatic events of the night. Climbing into bed, Melina's mind was much more at ease knowing that the engineers were there. She really trusted them and felt very secure when they were around. With the lights off, she tried to sleep, her mind wandering a bit to the crazy events that took place just 2 hours ago. Sleep did not come fast. As soon as she felt like she was dozing off, she would revive to a more awake stage, nagging thoughts of the night's occurrences to blame for keeping her up. Then a thought came to her that wouldn't leave. Who is Modes? Why did she hear that name from not only the thugs, but also from Rock? And even more puzzling, why did she think she heard Rock say to the thugs that Cass was his boss? That did not make any sense at all. Modes, modes, modes? Where have I heard that before? She thought. Okay, that was chapter 25 of Cassius Canix. Next week, we're doing chapter 26, and there is only 36 chapters in this book. So we are really coming down to the wire on this one now. So we're right past our deadline of 8:15, and that's okay. We ran a touch late today. Anyone, I don't know if I missed any comments. If there's anything, guys, just let me know. I'm going to start my closer. So once again, thank you for joining me for my show. This was episode 25 of The Dream is True. I am MK Schultz, horror sci-fi author. Please join me on my ride, on my journey, on my writing journey. I'm so happy to have you on board. Please subscribe to my Substack. Please follow, like, and forward. And your support is greatly appreciated. As an indie author, it is my dream to write full time. Currently, I am living this dream. In order to sustain this dream, I depend on your support. Here are some great ways to support my writing journey so that I can continue to publish more books. Buy my ebooks, softcover books, and audiobooks online or at in live person events. I have, like I said, a in-person event this Saturday and Sunday. Post book reviews on Goodreads and Amazon. Yeah, I can't stress that enough, guys. That really helps us out as indie authors. Support me on Ko-fi by buying me a coffee or tipping me, and there's a link in my bio there. Support me on Substack through a paid subscription. If you are, really digging what I do and if you want to know a way to help me beyond buying my books, that is the best way. Click the subscribe button, and it's on my website. It's also on my Substack there on the feed. Support me on social media by liking, commenting, and sharing. I am most active on Instagram, TikTok, Substack, and X. Subscribe to the podcast version of The Dream is True, where you listen to podcasts, because that's another cool outlet that that the dream is true is now morphed into. Yeah, all of my links. I have my Linktree link has all of the links to everything MK. So please check that out. And in closing, um, in closing, I now recite the phrase that I first heard on the song "Dream of Mirrors" by Iron Maiden. It is a phrase that inspires me, and I want to share it with all of you. If you have a dream, don't say, I hope my dream comes true one day. Instead, say this out loud every single day. The dream is true. The dream is true. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week, guys. Thank you so much.